Your CTO client says we encourage innovation, we want people to take risks. They say it with conviction. What's the one question that tells you whether it's true? This one. What happened to the last engineer who spent 2 weeks on an experiment that didn't ship? Everything in this video turns on that answer. That answer tells you more about the real culture than any values document ever could. If the CTO pauses or qualifies or says, well, that would depend, the gap is live. In Module 4, Unit 4.1, we mapped 5 layers of the trap. Layer 5, the culture tax, is the CTO's domain. They're not personally in the trap. They run the system that decides whether everyone else is. So, name the thing. Culture tax is the gap between the AI value an organization could capture and the value it actually does. For most organizations, that gap is 97%. Not because the tools don't work. The company pays full price for engineers and tooling, then builds conditions that make using any of it irrational. The CTO approved the budget and announced the transformation, and 97% evaporated. Not at the tooling layer, at the conditions layer. Here's the reframe that unlocks the conversation. The salary is paid regardless. The tools are purchased. The API costs are budgeted. None of that money moves based on whether the organization creates conditions for AI to work. The only real variable is whether the organization absorbs 7 rounds of underperformance per developer while they learn. That tolerance costs 0. No new budget line, no head count. Not providing it costs 97% of the investment. That's a financial argument, which is why it lands in the coaching room. Now sit with the paradox, because it's genuinely cruel. We're investing in AI transformation. That sentence is the narrative that builds board confidence. But the operational reality of that transformation contradicts everything the CTO's measurement system is built to surface. The narrative promises experimentation and learning curves. The dashboard rewards weekly velocity and 0 visible underperformance. The CTO isn't being dishonest. They're caught between 2 systems that can't both be true at once. That contradiction is your coaching entry point. And if nothing changes, it compounds. Watch the loop turn. A risk-averse culture produces low AI adoption. Competitors who started earlier move past the learning curve inflection point. Board pressure mounts. Here's the trap inside the trap. The natural response to pressure, tighten measurement, demand faster ROI, is the opposite of what produces adoption. Each turn accelerates the gap. Maintaining current conditions isn't a neutral hold. We'll get to it. Next quarter is the most expensive sentence in the CTO's vocabulary. Pause here for a moment. Think about a CTO client who invested in AI tooling. They approved the budget, announced the initiative, communicated the vision. Now the question that matters: did they also change how performance was measured? Hold your honest answer. If it's no, and it almost always is, the tools changed, the measurement system did not. That's culture tax in its purest form. Okay? And the intervention that closes it costs 0. That's your opening. 3 coaching moves for the top of the house, each framed as economic analysis, never moral judgment. Move 1, the values metrics gap. You say you value experimentation. Your weekly sprint dashboard says something else. What signal does that send about what the organization actually rewards? You're naming 2 systems in conflict and asking the CTO to see the gap. Frame it as a design flaw, not a values failure. And the CTO finishes thinking, I need to change my metrics. not this coach thinks I'm a fraud. Move 2, the $0 framing. When the CTO says we can't afford the team underperforming while they learn, you don't argue. You do math. You're already paying the salary and the tools. The cost of 2 weeks isn't new money. It's absorbing visible underperformance from people already on payroll. Picture a $20 million payroll, $500,000 in tooling, $20.5 million invested. Will they absorb a temporary dip to capture the return or capture 3%? You haven't advocated for AI. You've done arithmetic. Move 3 shifts the coaching stance. The question moves from what's your relationship with AI to what conditions are you creating for the people who report to you. 4 levers, none of which cost money. 1. Extend the measurement window. Weekly sprint metrics become quarterly capability reviews, so the learning valley has room to exist. 2. Budget that valley out loud. Tell the team this quarter output will look different. 3. Give AI fluent people real decision authority. 4. Model AI use visibly from the top. None of these is a transformation initiative. Each is a Monday morning decision. So step back and look at the whole map. 3 levels, 3 different traps, 3 different coaching questions. The individual contributor's trap is about who they are. So you coach the person, not the tool. The director or VP's trap is about what they make possible. So you coach the system they're creating. The CTO's trap is about what conditions they create. So you coach the measurement systems. Each level needs a different question and a different stance. If you serve tech clients at any of these levels, you now have the map.